well as Fly Solo. Neither side wants to really have that high or low ground disadvantage, so they do back off. I think that'll be it for the moment. They'll just go to their respective bounty runes. Too much of an early engagement fight.
30 paces to war, boys.
So, therefore, we'll say hello to Fly Solo, but does opt to back out. It is definitely a very dangerous position. Tigers are only in position to get one bounty rune, whereas Detonator, it looks like they may end up sniping 3 of them. See if Sam H can get one at the bot rune, or whether Moon Meander will be able to take it off him.
I do want to point something out, Mike. It looks like we're going to see a mid-AM from Mushi this game. So Dendi is playing up top with his Pugna, and it's mid-AM, Mike.
Mid-AM indeed. Not something you see too often. It will be being played up against that Medusa, so of course it does look like they wanted this. It does make enough sense as well. You want to just drain that mana a bit, and I suppose last hitting against the Medusa is very hard early on until you have a couple levels in that Mystic Snake, but overall, like, I really don't know how this one's going to work out.
It's definitely not a mid matchup you see too often. I believe the AM mid does pop out once in a blue moon, but this is probably the first time we've seen it in at least a year, Mike, ourselves. So, should be something fun to watch. Already a slight XP advantage from Mushi, but still very early on. I think it's going to be interesting to see what Mushi prioritizes here. Is he going to go for more levels in the counter spell?
First blood. Thanks.
Sorry, Joe, 1437 goes down top lane. They are running 2 tri-lanes up against each other, and it looks like they just did make a snowball onto him and got the kill. In fact, it was just the tag team, excuse me, that made it happen. Of course, 3 heroes with that tag team, John, a lot of damage. You tend to help melt pretty darn quickly if you're not too careful.
Yeah, that Tusk is still really potent for that tag team, of course, and you will have to watch out. Again, it's a tri-lane. None of these heroes on the top lane are particularly tanky. I don't think any of these heroes are considered tanky, so you will have to watch out if you're being ganked up. Although, I think they're fairly happy with that. 1437 is probably one of the better heroes to lose out on for First Blood, so I think that's perfectly fine for Tigers.
They are going to have a go again, Fly Solo. Going on to Zephyr, the Shackle is there as well. They don't have the PA around though, and Zephyr should just be able to walk his way out of there safely. Nice chip damage done to him. They are going to need to stick around for the moment. It looks like they are just going to fight over these neutral camps. Of course, in these tri-lanes, you're like so starved for XP as those supports that you just need anything you can get. It's almost worth losing your life over some XP at this point.
Yeah, it definitely is. Again, because of the XP distribution here, it's really going to be a rough time. The Rubik and the Earth Spirit both want some EXP as well. So you will have to contest a lot, try to make sure that at least your safe laner gets something from this tri-lane, because if the two supports aren't, then the core better be getting something.
Spoke about bot lane very much at all yet, John, but Moon Meander up against Sam H. It does look like Moon Meander is having a decently better time. He's 6 last ahead. And you can't just put that down to the fact that he just continues to anchor smash, and Sam H always is going to have a pretty big disadvantage up against this Tidehunter in terms of creeps last hitting.
Yeah, and Sam H is definitely draining a lot from just trying to stay in this lane. He can't really match harass the damage coming out with his Thunderclap compared to Anchor Smash, and it costs a fair bit more mana as well. So you really just can't keep up with the same damage that the Tidehunter basically pumps out. I think this is the ideal matchup for sure for Tigers.
Yeah. 2 mangoes there on the Tidehunter as well, so he's just ready for the long haul. He's going to be sitting in that lane for quite a while, up until at least he has that Ravage available. Well, again, mid lane, still very even. Ben-Hur finding himself slightly ahead of Mushi, but then again, Mushi just pulls ahead now. Top lane, they are having a go. Tag team is there onto Zephyr though. RR is falling very, very low, and Dendi is going for it. He doesn't get it. The South does end up saving RR though. Raging Potato, he's the much better target for the side of Tigers, and it looks like they may find him though. Snowball will save him in time. Raging Potato, he will get taken down by Dendi. Now Fly Solo will be okay. They aren't willing to dive tier 1s quite yet, but they do end up getting the PA kill.
Yeah, that's a really good takedown for Tigers again. Just kind of slowing down the progression of Raging Potato. He does want to come online early as a hero. Does look like he might be going for something that's a bit more focused on coming online earlier. So as long as he slow down this PA, it's going to be a bit harder for them to apply pressure in the map. And you know, all things considered, again, none of the heroes on Tigers' side requires as much farm as Detonator, except for the AM, of course. So
they are going again onto Raging Potato, though. Nice snowball to save the day, but Fly Solo may end up losing his own life. They will jump back in, though. Dendi's now in trouble. He does decrepify himself. Shackles comes in. Raging Potato going for those right clicks, but I don't know about this one. He might have to back out of there. The roll will not connect. Raging Potato is going to make a run, although he does have stick charges. He will be alright. Fly Solo, I can't say the same for him. Now RR trying to make a run for it himself, and it looks like he will be okay as well. Raging Potato barely getting out, forced to use a salve again. Well, at the very least, they get a kill on the side of Tigers, and they force out more regen being used from the side of Detonator.
yeah, definitely so. They, you know, it would have been really good if they again took out Raging Potato, but just the fact that they're making him miss so many of these last hits by focusing on the rotations, wasting a lot of regen. I believe they've popped 2 salves in Raging now at this point, and just taking away so much roaming potential from these 2 supports on Detonator that the other lanes can just run away. I feel like Tigers are definitely on top of their game here. I feel like Detonator has to really decide on which lane to shaft, because right now they're trying to make sure Raging Potato has a good time, but I don't think it's really paying off.
Better gank mid lane. Ben-Hur seems to be aware of something wrong here. But they will let him go for the moment, and bot lane as well. There is a rotation from Fly Solo and RR. They're going to go after Moon Meander. They do have access to snowball in, but it is a Tide Hunter. He's already sitting at 1.1k HP, and John, he's already got a Vladimir's offering.
Yeah, that's
farming very well.
Definitely. So he is in the top of the creep score right now. And
top lane, Raging Potato gets rolled on again, and it's a lot of damage coming in. He already used that Blink Strike. It's off cooldown in a few seconds, but he needs it desperately right now. He will blur, and he will blink away, and he will be alright. Just barely. Meanwhile, the Tusk, they are going after Moon Meander. Ravage committed. He's actually going to turn around Man. He gets one. Sam H, he misses on that right click. That could have been a double for Moon Meander had he connected that. He did have enough damage with the right click, but he wasn't so lucky. Looks like Sam H will be able to get away by the skin of his teeth. Although RR sticks around, and 1437 comes in and cleans him up.
Yeah, it's a really rough time for Detonator right now. They've tried to rotate on Moon. Doesn't pay off when you throw 3 heroes, when 2 of those heroes are level 2. So, you know, again...
Lane, John. Therefore, he was in a lot of trouble. It looks like... Sorry, they will give up on it. I thought they were going to continue the chase.
Yeah, it's all this time being wasted by Detonator right now that kind of makes me weird. Their Tusk is still stuck at level 2. Shadow Shaman just hit 3. And you've got really under-leveled supports that can't apply that much pressure without EXP. It's really hard. Even when you do a 3-man rotation with like the Walgo onto Moon, you just can't do enough damage.
Fly Solo, again, trying to go after Zephyr with that tag team. Roll in. They are going to try and turn this one around. Dendi has another blast. It will get dodged by the snowball. And a very nice Decrepify to save Zephyr. Otherwise, he may have gone down from Raging Potato. He did have the blink available as well as the dagger. Well, bot lane, there is a split. Again, they are trying onto Moon Meander. This could be a kill, but he's so darn tanky. And again, that lifesteal really helping him out. Now Mushi comes in. They are going to go after the Shaman. RR, he just does get destroyed. And now Sam H is in trouble. Can he actually get out of this? It doesn't really look like it. He is dodging a lot of right clicks, but Moon Meander will be able to claim that kill for himself. Mushi, he did have to commit the Mana Void, but who the hell cares about that?
Yeah, again, it's just these movements from Detonator. They're trying to compensate for their passiveness early on with these rotations. They commit the split. They keep trying to jump the Titan. I really don't think Moon is the target you want. I think with a Shadow Shaman, you could probably rotate quite easily onto Mushi. You know, you have your Hex, you have your Shackle. You just kind of need to get the jump on him. And it should be a fairly straightforward target to kill. I think with all the control you have, it's just that they haven't really rotated down mid. They've all the movements outside of their lane, they've really gone down to Moon Meander, who, to be fair, has been on top of this has been on top of the creep score for a while now. But I don't think this is a very easy target to go for.
Well, he's going up top now with the smoke. He's got Ravage. It gets broken by Fly solo, and that may save a death on Raging Potato, though Fly will be in danger, loses a lot of HP. We'll go for the snowball. Nether Blast is on point by Dendi. They will claim the kill on him. Though Raging Potato did manage to TP out, he does go to the bot lane instead. And they may be able to try and go for 1437 now. In fact, Sam H, he does start diving the tier 1. But 1437 was quick to move out of the way, and now we'll hide in the tree line for a moment. The Raging Potato, making his way in, does run the wrong way, and they may assume he's TP'd out. Oh, 1437, he shows himself, he goes for the TP play, and he will make it out. No way to stun him up and disable the TP.
Disappointment.
Yeah, that's some really good movement coming out from 1437, just wasting a lot of time down there. They couldn't really apply too much chip damage on that tier 1, so I think overall, I think he's got what he wanted from that lane. Just even though he had to expend the TP, they couldn't really chip away.
In a lot of danger, will go down. Mushi, he managed to pick up an Arcane rune, and with the Arcane and the max blink levels, I mean, you've got a 4.2 second cooldown, and he just kept blinking on the Shadow Shaman and just draining his mana and dealing all this damage. And with that, it looks like they're actually going to try and pressure this tier 1 mid tower, because Moon Meander, he does have the Ravage available. Goes in, cops a lot of damage, can't get the split off, and will get taken out. My goodness.
Yeah, I guess he was just going to try to waste some time by expending his ultimate there. I don't think he could really achieve too much. His team was definitely not in position to back him up. So the best he could have hoped, or even if that primer went off, was probably to just run away. Even then, I think it might be a good thing for Detonator that the split is still off cooldown. They will be able to use it for the next defense or team fight that comes out in the next 2 minutes.
Raging Potato, one more right click will do the job. Moon Meander, can he find it? It looks like he's let him go for the moment. Sam H did come in to help out. So darn close for that PA kill again. Looks like they will start pressuring that tier 1 bot tower now. In fact, Mushi, he finds Fly solo up at that top jungle area. So not only is he free farming, but now he's just getting kills around the map. Moon Meander, look how much damage he deals to Sam H. They will make the chase, and a nice ward trap is there onto Zephyr. He will end up going down. Now the Cyclone is down to Moon Meander. He will come down as well, although he's falling very, very low. Snowball will be there onto Dendi, and the shards is very, very nice. Can they save Dendi? He will life drain for a bit, but the Hex is there from the Shaman. They will take down Moon Meander as well, but Dendi is the main target that they want. But he will get away. Still though, a great turnaround from Detonator.
Definitely. So they got one big kill in Moon, and taking out that Tidehunter was really big.
Meanwhile, Mushi finds Raging Potato by himself. Bot lane, they will go again. That Medusa losing a lot of HP. Ben-Hur, he tries to get himself out. Sam H making a run for it as well. He will go down, and the Magnetize doing so much work. Fly solo as well gets taken out. Luckily, they do get Ben-Hur out of there, as well as the Shadow Shaman, but 13-3 now, a 5k net worth lead to the side of Tigers, and to make matters worse, Mushi is currently 4-0 with 2 assists, and he's at the top of the net worth board by about 700 gold.
Yeah, he's at the top of the net worth. He doesn't even have his Battle Fury up yet. Once that's up, his farm will just accelerate that much more. It's looking pretty bad for Detonator. It's not the end of the world, of course, as their Medusa is still at least keeping pace with the AM, but they've already lost their tier 2 up top. They've lost their tier 1 mid. They've lost their tier 1 bot. The map is going to grow smaller and smaller, and it's going to be really hard to protect this Medusa at some point, Mike.
Certainly so. She has been farming okay as well, though. She's second in net worth. In fact, she is very close to Mushi. But still, like with Medusas, up until you reach the level 20 mark, and you get a lot of items on her, she is still relatively squishy and pretty easy for someone like an AM to take out. So speaking of the AM, Nushi may get ganked up because Fly Solo's found him. He just used the blink. Snowball not being used quite yet. And there's the blink. The Snowball was on top of him just beforehand. Now the shards as well. They've got him in place. Mana Void not being used quite yet. He does cancel it. And with that, it looks like he will lose his own life. Nice play there from Detonator, though. Moon Meander mid lane going after Ben-Hur. He does have a haste rune, so it looks like he's just dealing a bit of harassment. He does have the Ravage up as well. Sam H. Be okay. Moon Meander just playing games with the side of Detonator at the moment, it seems.
He is going to clear out their stacks, though, and that every time, you know, Tigers goes in, clears out the jungle, it's going to hurt the Medusa that much more, like. So
down Sam H, roll in, and he just gets bursted. Straight back to those stacks as well. Like you said, like they're just directly taking money off that Medusa. Fly Solo gonna be there. They may be able to like snipe one of those, but it looks like they're not even gonna bother. Oh, Raging walks in. Zephyr doesn't look like he really saw him. Perhaps just wasn't interested. Raging will back off to safety. Moon Meander does end up getting those ancient stacks as well without any contestation. Again, just things are going very, very well for the side of the Radeon at this point.
Definitely so. I feel like Tigers has been playing this game. I mean, you know, it's their game. Detonator has been playing to their tune. The Tigers have been setting up the tempo of this game. The one saving grace for Detonator right now is that their Medusa is not too far behind, right? Gonna finish that Manta style fairly soon. And Ben-Hur has been clearing out that jungle, has been playing quite safe. Participates in a couple of fights, has a couple of assists, but otherwise this Medusa has been doing a pretty good job. I just feel like, you know, your PA is way far behind. Not even Desolator up yet. You really need to start getting something up on your PA.
They found him as well. Raging Potato walks right into them, and now RR's been caught out. Can they find enough damage onto him? Nether Blast will connect. He goes for the TP attempt, but Dendi was all over it. Double kill for the Pugna. And with that, it looks like this tier 2 tower has no chance of survival. Even Mushi's joined in. He wants to join the team fights now. Fly Solo, getting caught out, does throw the snowball. Ben-Hur is there, but he's already used the Stone Gaze now. He will get Dendi though, a very nice pickup for him. Can he find anything more? They'll go after Moon Meander. Ravage was already committed though. Mushi goes in after Ben-Hur. Gets all his mana back though, and now Mushi may be in a spot of bother. 1437 as well. Wants to back the hell out of there. Ben-Hur has had double damage this whole time, and that's why he's dealing so much damage throughout all of this. 1437 will get daggered up, and Raging Potato will find him, and Tigers do overextend. The Detonator does punish them quite heavily.
That is definitely very helpful for Detonator right now. They really needed as much they can take. That's a good amount of gold going your way, and I feel like fairly soon you're going to see the PA come online, just one part wave. I mean, about 200 gold and one part wave for that. Desolator, once that's up, I think Raging Potato will be able to apply a fair bit of pressure. I think the key thing here is getting as much EXP on all your heroes as much as possible. I mean, your supports are starting to look a bit... I mean, they've caught up a fair bit, but you do want some more levels, especially in your Shadow Shaman. Oh.
Mid lane, they smoked up, they will go after Dendi again. Can they burst him down fast enough? He's lost a lot of HP, but he does go into his Nether Blast as well. Still not dead, he's life draining throughout all this. And the Ravage in the backlines. Dendi somehow surviving, but he is surrounded now. Meanwhile, Moon Meander. What can he do here? Fly Solo. The ward trap is perfect from RR, and it looks like he will go down. Zephyr can't roll away because Fly Solo stuns him, and Mushi comes in to try and help out. He couldn't even get the Tuskar. Shards are there as well. Can they get the final right? Yes, they can. Ben-Hur on a rampage all of a sudden. What the bloody hell just happened?
I wish I could tell you, Mike. It just feels really strange coming out from Tigers, maybe a bit sloppy in their execution, maybe just not showing Detonator the respect they deserve, because that's some really good coordination coming out from Detonator. They just jump in, just, you know, threw everything they had, and Ben-Hur, just with the few items he has, does so much damage. It compensates for the lack of items on their PA, and I feel like Tigers definitely needs to clean up their gameplay a bit, because now they've given so much back to Detonator. Their Medusa is now 2,000 gold ahead of Mushi's AM. The PA is starting to catch up. You're probably going to start to taper off a bit if you're not going to fix your situation right now, Mike.
Yeah, it's certainly one of those things. Like, they were about 6 or 7k ahead in net worth, but now all that is pretty much gone. Ben-Hur suddenly finding himself 2k ahead of Mushi in terms of net worth. Mushi, I mean, that's the second time he's died, and I would argue he probably could have just kept farming with that battle-free Yasha he already has, but he's jumped in to try and help out 2 times now, and unfortunately it hasn't really paid off for him. See if he does just decide to farm or whether he'll continue joining his team. There is a very big sense of urgency, it seems, coming out of Tigers. Like, they really just want to continue this aggression throughout this game.
I think that's definitely what they should be doing. I just feel like probably have to be a bit safer as well. Apply pressure on objectives. Don't necessarily take every team fight that Detonator feels confident in, because if they do coordinate, they can do a lot of damage, so you will have to watch out. I think the key thing again for Tigers here is to start sieging that high ground fairly soon. I mean, by the time it's 35 minutes, you're going to see Raging Potato online, you're going to see Ben-Hur online, and these heroes just get scarier towards that late game, whereas, sure, you still have the Tidehunter, the Ravage is always amazing, but you start to lose out on the effectiveness of Pugna. You know, your damage starts to feel lacking as time goes on, so you will want to try to secure these objectives while you're still strong, Mike.
Certainly so. They did try to make a smoke rotation there onto Mushi bot lane. He does end up showing himself as well, but should be able to blink away to safety, and he will do so and TP out immediately. So that will mean they sack the tier 1 bot tower, but it looks like they are going to start pushing in the top lane. So the tier 2's already gone there, so the only option they have is the tier 3. Perhaps that'll be enough for Detonator to back off.
Radiant's bottom tower be under
Detonator,
attack.
no, they will stick around, of course. The tier 1, going to be easy pickings for them. They'll just send Raging Potato up to take these creeps out by himself. That was just a very easy play for them. Meanwhile, though, Mushi, he will take the tier 2 mid tower. So 1 outer tower left for the side of Detonator.
This is definitely, I mean, Tigers definitely needed that. I think they want to take that last tier 2 down bot, which is at 276 HP. Should be fairly easy to clear out once you push out the wave. And from there, you can start to drain out that jungle on Dar's side, which you really need to do. You need to slow down Ben-Hur's farm. You need to make sure he doesn't really eclipse you in terms of damage, because right now Ben-Hur looks pretty scary. Like, he has a butterfly up. He has, you know, of course, they cleared out Roshan earlier, so he has an Aegis up as well for a few more minutes. He has his Manta up, he has his Dragonlance up, probably going to go for that Hurricane Pike at some point, if not something else. And, you know, he's starting to look pretty scary. He's a few points off from his level 20 as well, and he's going to be much, much tankier once that's up, so you will have to really be careful with what fights you take once, for Tigers.
Yeah, not to mention, you've got a Blink Dagger as well up on Sam H and RR on that Shadow Shaman now, and they've found 1437, but Dendi actually sticking around. He drops the ward, he'll be okay though. It looks like he does manage to get out just in time. 1437, he will not be so lucky, of course, and Zephyr does get sharded, will roll away. They will only lose the Rubik, so not too big of a deal. But this is pretty much just farm time for Mushi right now. It's like, just get the farm up on this AM. We've given away way too much to the enemy. I mean, you can really tell, like, you pointed out the butterfly being there on the Medusa already, but you've got those Blink Daggers on those supports now, and the initiation from the Shaman and the Brewmaster, that's going to be an even bigger problem for Tigers.
Yeah, definitely will be. I think that Shadow Shaman Blink is going to cause so many problems for Tigers. Mushi can just get blinked in by the Shaman from... There you go, just like that, Mike.
Yeah, he's hexed, he's shackled, the wards have been dropped. He tried to split push that tier 3 tower. He would not be so lucky. And again, Detonator really starting to outplay Tigers throughout this match, it seems.
Yeah, it feels like a couple of bad plays coming out from Tigers really cost them quite a fair bit with the lead they had. It's now less than 1k lead for Detonator, and I'm starting to feel like the timing I called out earlier, 30 minutes, it's starting to look like it's going to be around by 25 as long as Ben-Hur keeps up this pace. He alone will be able to eclipse the progress Tigers has made. Along with his supports, of course. I think the key thing here is RR having that early blink. It's really what you need to take out an AM. Just blink in Hex, and AM really can't do anything without Spell Shield. So you just lock him down and he's gone. And that's most of the farm on Tiger's just gone.
Absolutely. Looks like Detonator will make their way up to the tier 1 top tower now. Trying to establish map control once again for the side of Detonator. Also, look at Mushi's items. He has queued up what looks like an Eye of Skadi. Not sure how much it's going to help the cause. It looks like it just is going to get a bit more HP up, a few more stats. Might be just what he needs, but... What kind of items could Mushi go for to be more relevant this game? Like, he had a good start, not so much anymore, but... Like, it seems like the main problem is these sables coming out from the Shaman that's causing the headache.
Yeah, it definitely is. I think he's probably going to want to go for... I mean, that MKB definitely needs to come out if he's going to want to man fight Ben-Hur. I think after that he definitely needs an item to help him tank through the damage that we're going to throw out. If not, help him avoid it. A Lincoln Sphere would be nice, but that only covers one. That's only going to stop the Hex. The Shackle's still going to be there, although I guess once you see that Lincoln pop, you can turn on your counter spell. That spell shield, so you should be fine with just the Lincolns. I think he definitely needs something. Either Lincolns or a Heart to just tank up. I don't think the Heart's going to be enough, because they do a lot of damage at this point. Like, the Medusa does a lot of damage. The PA already has the Desolator up, so you will be taking quite a fair bit more. I think a Lincolns is the best bet here after this MKB.
Glad to see he did swap out the Eye of Skadi for that MKB, because like you said, he is going to need it for that Medusa. There it is, he does pick it up, doesn't leave himself any buyback gold, but it's probably not too necessary at the moment. They have still got 2 tier towers available on the map for themselves. Meanwhile though, Ben-Hur picks up a BKB for himself now. Suddenly he's become even harder to kill as that Medusa. You look to Raging Potato, he's picked up a BKB of his own, it is just being couriered out. And with that, I mean, now you can't really disable these 2 carries.
Yeah, it just gets that much harder to control these 2 guys. And, you know, honestly, looking at the control coming out from Tigers, it's really not as impressive as Detonator. I mean, you have nothing that really instantly locks someone down like a Shadow Shaman would. You have really good teamfight control, but you really depend on getting a good Ravage out, or at least getting a good rolling boulder on one target and following up with a great silence. But beyond that, you're really going to have to depend a lot on that Ravage, which Tigers has not really popped in the last few minutes, I feel. I feel like they definitely have to maximize that spell, take team fights when they can, even just pick off for that Ravage at this point.
White Solo baiting them in, Moon Meander, very nice Ravage comes out, but the BKB already committed from Raging Potato, and they jump in. Ben-Hur BKB's up as well, Mushi's already gone. Now they chase Moon Meander with the Brewmaster split. Zephyr has been taken out by Raging Potato. And they've got the Dive Hunter. A very nice blink comes out though to save his life. But Mushi has no buyback and neither does Zephyr. That's going to be pretty problematic if Detonator want to try and force out a buyback right now. Because they may just realize they can take a tier 3 tower.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Detonator does not back out here. They still have the Stone Gaze up. They still have a couple of tools helping this team fight, so they're not going to stop.
Yeah, no. We'll find RR at the very least with the Anchor Smash. Dendi getting very close to getting caught in that shards, but he's okay. Crepify Life Drain is there onto the Tusk. He gets blocked off. Fly Solo gets away with about 18 HP. Sam H, meanwhile, falling low himself, but Ben-Hur is very, very healthy, and Raging Potato is the same. Though Zephyr jumps in onto Raging Potato, they're going to try and burst him down. It's not quite there. Sam H, lift it up, will be alright. For the moment, that is, he does get stunned up through that TP. Mind you, they did already get the melee barracks. Zephyr is looking for even more to punish, but he's overextended. Fly Solo doesn't actually get the Warrior's Punch off, and he could be in danger now. He shards himself in place. He does not get away, unfortunately. But the main question is, can they find Medusa? Answer is probably no, and they will let him go. But they do get a bit of punishment out from the side of Detonator.
Yeah, I mean, they managed to take that tier 3, they managed to take the melee racks. I think Detonator should be happy with that sort of trade. If you're Tigers right now, if you're a Tigers fan, I'd say you should bet. I mean, you have to hope that Tiger starts to clean up their gameplay. I think, again, they need to coordinate a bit better. They need to be able to jump the targets they want to jump. Even having that PA outside of Ravage is pretty deadly and costly at this point. Because again, even with just a Desolator, the PA does a lot of damage, right? They did not go for a really farming build on Raging Potato, so he is up and running just with the meager items he has now. And you will probably want to catch him.
They're moving in with a smoke. Ravage is not available for 10 seconds though. RR, nice blink away. Mushi, he comes in again. He's going after Raging Potato. They do hex him up and the wards have been dropped. Is this a bait though? Mushi, he gets out of it. Sam H gets a split and Dendi is almost gone. In fact, he is now. They get the shackles off onto Zephyr. He's gone as well. That's a double for Sam H and they found a third in 1437 and make it a fourth with the Roshan, I guess. That is... Again, John, I was just questioning that because the Ravage was on cooldown that whole time.
Yeah, the moment they couldn't get instant Ravage, the moment Shadow Shaman burnt out, I think you should have pulled back. I mean, there's no way you take that team fight with Mushi not having any defensive item and him being very cautious with his counter spell usage. He's just going to get caught out every single time, and he's not going to be able to do as much damage as he wants to. I think that's really the issue right now for Tigers, is that their core is really easy to control. No defensive items at all. Literally none on Mushi. He has Power Treads, he has Battle Fury, Mantis Style, and MKB, and 2 Rate Bands. He has nothing to protect himself from that instant Hex, nothing to protect himself from Walrus Punch, from Shackles. He is just one good combination coming out from that Shadow Shaman, and Mushi's out of the fight. So he had to back out, and because Mushi backed out, they just lose 3 heroes.
To make matters worse, Hurricane Pike comes out on Ben-Hur. Raging Potato, he has a Basher coming out on the Courier for himself. It is just a question of what does Mushi go for next to allow him to survive throughout these team fights. Because just every time you see the AM, he's either getting hexed up or he's just getting shackled and DPS down. He does have about 5k worth of gold, but he hasn't quite decided yet. You were mentioning before, he could go for the Lincoln Sphere. I mean, of course, the heart is always an option as well for that HP, but it just seems like a very, very hard choice for him right now, and I can't really blame him. There's so many things to deal with.
Yeah, there's so much to worry about in this game now. I feel like they definitely threw away a lot of their early momentum, which is really costing them now. I feel like this is the point where the AM starts to get a good peak if you shut down that Medusa and the PA. But Ben-Hur has always kept pace this entire game. Mushi, of course, he's been farming great. It's just that he's always been matched by Medusa. He hasn't really snowballed past.
So there's a BKB on RR now. Got Blink Dagger, Aether Lens, and a BKB on the Shadow Shaman. I mean, he's got net worth with his 4th Brewmaster.
Yeah, this is a lot of this game really hangs on RR. I don't blame him at all for going for this semi-core build. Because he needs to be up there, he needs to be the one controlling Mushi. If not Mushi controlling up Dendi or even Moon Meander. RR needs to be the guy in front to jump in. And right now, it looks like Tusk is the follow-up. Fly Solo just comes in after. But RR starts the fight. RR and Sam H. So him having all these items really does make sense. Because again, Detonator depends on the Shadow Shaman Hex to get these fights going.
Smart choice from him. 3 BKBs now up on the side of Detonator. Saw Dendi as well. On that Pugner, he did actually go for the Dagon build, and he's still going for the max Dagon build. Thing is though, 3 BKBs now, gonna make it a lot harder to actually get those off, and I mean, even if you do, I don't really know how much impact that's gonna be for the side of Tigers.
I mean, it's definitely useful to have, especially against something that's just naturally squishy in terms of HP. Like, PA does not have that much HP from its natural growth, so you should be able to burst down that PA quite fast. But as you mentioned, the BKBs are out, 10-second BKBs are out for a few heroes. It's going to be hard for them to have an impact anyway.
Yeah. D2 top tower does end up going down to Detonator. Mushi does opt to go for the butterfly, and he does save up the buyback. So he will have that available. They are going to start going up to that tier 3 top tower, and look how fast Ben-Hur's taking it. Especially with those Serpent Wards, these Raxes aren't going to last very long. They are going to have to go for some kind of engagement here on the side of Tigers. Ben-Hur just stand his ground. He has an Aegis anyway, just in case he does get jumped. Well, those split daggers coming out from Raging Potato are very, very annoying as well. And they will just get the racks with no contestation from the side of Tigers. Though Zephyr does roll in.
Mushi?
Mushi is getting jumped. Well, actually, Mushi, bot lane, is getting snowballed on. It'll probably be okay. They are going to chase onto Sam H as well, and it looks like both of them will be alright. Although Sam H, Zephyr is going to make the chase. Perhaps he might even Ravage for this, honestly, once he gets out of the split form. The Dagon was very quick though, so he can't blink out. Now, yeah, he's not going to be able to blink out of that one. Mushi will go and clean it up with a double damage on him. Nice pickup from the side of Tigers, but again, they did still lose that Rax.
Yeah, that's one whole lane of racks going away for Tigers. Basically just one set of intact racks down bot with no tier 2 to protect it. Their range racks down mid has chip, it's taking a lot of chip damage from the wave being pushed in. And really taking those two set racks would, that just means Detonator can apply so much more pressure on the map. They can go around farming a bit safer. They can take that Roshan much easier as well. I think the next thing they want to see, if they want to take out Rosh, is definitely to take out the shrines. It's probably going to be their next move. They have taken that top shrine, so pretty much all you really need to control the Roshan. But yeah, taking that bot shrine just helps you control the jungle much better as well, and that push in.
Tigers, they do go for a smoke up. Mushi, he did pick up a butterfly, and he did go for a BKB, so those are his defensive items. So do have an MKB now available on Raging Potato, so it won't bother him too much with that evasion. Still, certainly going to help the cause. As well as that, Zephyr picks up a Guardian Greaves, and of course you've got that Solar Crest already available on Moon Meander. But perhaps these items could make the difference in making sure that Mushi does not die throughout the team fight. Keep an eye on that. All about Ben-Hur, it seems. Like, once this Medusa's gone, you've really got nothing to be afraid about.
Regeneration.
Up on the own side of the map now. So they are making their way back to the base. Looks like they are aware that something is Orion. They are drawing out a line, so it looks like they are aware that something's going on with the smoke, and everyone backs off the safety. So no real fight going on here. Though there will be very soon, because the bot lane is being pushed in by the side of Detonator very, very soon. Nice ward being placed by Fly Solo as well, though they do spot it immediately. But who gets the B ward versus the question? And it looks like, unfortunately, Ben-Hur will get it for the side of Tigers, but 1437 will clean that up as well. Detonator not willing to risk anything. They do back off, and they do make the safe play with that bottom shrine.
This just makes it much harder for Tigers to play catch-up farm with Mushi in their bot jungle. It makes that bot tier 3 push much easier. And it just basically means Detonator has pretty much full control of the map now, Mike. Sure, they've lost all their outer towers as well, but they still have their shrines, so they have a bit bigger of an area to control.
Mid lane. A lot of confidence here from Detonator. They don't feel scared whatsoever. Just a matter of making sure you don't throw a team fight right now if you're on the side of Detonator, because it's going to be a lot of gold going to the way of Tigers, and it's gold that they desperately seem to need. Loop around from the side of Tigers as well, and Fly Solo will decide to back off to safety, so no real fight going on here either. Mushi will start split pushing that top lane with the AM. Raging Potato does have a bottled up double damage rune, and as well as that, now you have a Medusa with an Eye of Skadi. That may be enough to make them push that bot lane.
I think it probably is enough. I feel like you have all the tools you want in Detonator. and just being able to, you know, I feel like you want to just have your Shadow Shaman keep spamming his Serpent Wards on that tier 3, and you should be pretty much set to just slowly whittle it away in the next few minutes, because the only thing that's really a threat now on Tigers is if Moon gets a really big Ravage and you don't manage to pop your BKBs. But I think if you just play your ward game right, make sure you space yourselves just fine, I think that's really not going to be an issue here.
Yeah, absolutely. Apologies if you can hear any kind of sound in the background, John. Apparently it's hailing outside now, so that's fun.
Oh,
that should stop pretty soon. Yeah, it's alright. Pretty usual thing with this kind of Australian weather now. Roshan being checked out by Ben-Hur. 20 seconds for the Roshan to respawn, but it does get scanned out by the side of Tigers. It looks like they can't really afford to let this Roshan go, otherwise they probably will just get mega creeped for sure. They do get in position though. Detonator, they know what's going on. Moon Meander, where is he going? They do get Mushi immediately with Raging Potato. Now the snowball in. Zephyr going to be the next target. That's a 2k crit coming out from Raging Potato. Goes after Moon Meander as well. With that double damage, it's just so darn easy to melt these heroes on the side of Tigers. But we did see Mushi buy back immediately. He does have a go onto RR, but he's okay. Dendi, maybe not so lucky. Now they found 1437. He'll go down. Buyback is available in him as well. The only person that doesn't have it right now is Zephyr. Now a nice Ravage comes out. BKB was used, but they got the Medusa. Ben-Hur's gone. Fly solo gets Dagon down as well. This could be what they needed, John. Sam H, Aeon Disc does kick in. Raging Potato gonna go for the man fight. They'll go after Moon Meander again. Dendi can't afford to die right now. The split daggers will not connect onto Dendi, but Moon Meander will go down. A 1437 as well. Does not want to die back. He will blink out, but he does die back indeed. And Ben-Hur has already brought back and TP'd back in to help his team out. So now you're looking at a 3 versus 5, and they are hitting on the tier 4 towers. This is going to be the last-ditch defense for the side of Tigers. Nice Dagon. Sam H, he does go down. Buyback available on him though. Now Mushi, he's been trapped up. He's been hexed, but Decrepify does save him. Force up as well, and he does barely make it. Dendi saves him, but they've lost Zephyr as well. No buyback available on the Earth Spirit. I mean, this is the last chance they have if you're a Tigers fan. Mushi, oh, the dagger just rips apart Dendi from full HP. RR gets taken out by Mushi, but how the hell do you get out of this? He does blink out, but look at the damage. Ben-Hur just rips him apart, takes a tier 4 tower. And that's it. It's all over. The Ancient's gone, John. Tigers not make it past the round of 16. Detonator were just way too strong this time around, and unfortunately, this will be the last we see of them for, at the very least, the DreamLeague Major.